With the lack of team success and his teammates alienating him, Jazz Chisholm seems like the perfect candidate for the next athlete to request out of their situation. What's going on, guys? The King of 161st Street. I'm back with another video, and if you don't know who Jazz Chisholm is, let me give you a little bit of a rundown. He is a 24-year-old middle infielder from the Bahamas who has an 86 outs above average in terms of percentile and is in the 94th percentile in terms of sprint speed, along with having a power bat. This guy is a true 5-tool stud, and everyone who's seen him coming through the system knew he was going to be great. He was a part of a trade from Arizona to get him to Miami for Zach Gallen, who looks to be a possible Cy Young candidate. So that should show you the amount of value Jazz Chisholm has. Now, back to the original subject. There was a report last year that came out early talking about how the team had a players-only meeting with Don Mattingly present to discuss Jazz Chisholm. Some players described him as being a Dennis Rodman-like player in terms of off the field, and some of them just were flat out jealous, according to reports. So because of this, along with the fact that this team is not more than a 70-win team, 70-75 wins, Jazz Chisholm, I know, is the type of player that wants to win. He is mentored by guys like CC Sabathia, who are winners. He wants to win. He wants to be one of the greatest to play the game. You need to win if you want to be the greatest. Yes, this sport is a little bit more lenient when it comes to team success because of how much of a personal sport this is. But you still need team success in order to prove your value. Jazz wants to prove his value. He wants to be one of those great players, especially playing in October. Now, where would Jazz Chisholm end up? Now, I could think of a place, right, that has a shortstop issue, that has a bunch of prospects, and has money to spend every single offseason. I think he's going to end up in Los Angeles. Gotcha there. But let's get back to this. The Yankees should be in on Jazz Chisholm if he were to ever become available. If Volpe ever became what Jazz Chisholm is right now, the Yankees would be overjoyed. That would possibly be an overachieving thing for Anthony Volpe. At 24 years old, to be one of the premier talents, there's not much past that. So the Yankees should be in on him. And for anyone out there who thinks that because Jazz Chisholm likes to wear his gold chains and likes to pimp a home run, Euro step at home plate, that the Yankees are holier than thou and they'd never take in a guy like that, especially after the team said he acts like Dennis Rodman. Well, let me think of a couple players that the Yankees had that were headaches. You had, I don't know, Alex Rodriguez. I don't know, Darryl Strawberry. All of these guys are Hall of Fame talents, but had off the field issues. They succeeded here. They even took in nutcases like Randy Johnson because of his talent. This is a place where if you succeed, all of that gets trumped. It's once you don't succeed is when you start getting into what they're doing outside of baseball. But once they're performing in baseball, Derek Jeter was a party animal. No one cared because he was batting .300, had over 300 hits a year, and had over a .315 batting average every single year. If you succeed here, you're allowed more leniency than others. And Jazz Chisholm in New York would be a dream come true, knowing that he's a lefty bat as well. He utilizes his pull swing. He turned on a 100-mile-an-hour pitch from Jacob deGrom and took it 420. That's to right field that was in Citi Field. Imagine that in Yankee Stadium. This is the type of guy the Yankees should be looking at, but of course, he will be very valuable in the market because of his premier talent. And with the amount of shortstops that they've already passed up on, I don't know if they'd be willing to. So let's go back to my original sort of joking team, the Dodgers. They just lost Trey Turner. They still have a top farm system in baseball, and they have a fuck ton of money. They are the type of team that also embraces this type of player, and a fan base that embraces this type of player. They had Yasiel Puig for 5 years, and all those Dodgers fans did was embrace him, and I loved Yasiel. You could see on a video in my channel, he was one of my inspirations for baseball, and that's where I got to meet him. But that's a story for a different day. Anyways, when we're talking about places where Jazz Chisholm could succeed, number one has to be Los Angeles. He just exudes what Los Angeles is, which is flashy. And Jazz Chisholm is flashy. So if there was any team Jazz Chisholm was going to end up on, my money would go on Los Angeles. But if the Yankees really, really wanted to make a run, especially with a young team, Jazz Chisholm should be on their radar if he's available. But hopefully you enjoyed this quick video. I believe Jazz Chisholm's going to be on the market. Let me know down below. What do you think his value will be on the market? Do you think he will actually be traded? Or do you think Kim Ange and the Miami front office is going to try and rectify situations? Because let's get into this little team meeting real quick. Usually these teams, especially teams that don't perform well, have these team meetings, especially if they are expected to perform better than what they are performing. Never does it come out what this team meeting is about. Never does it come out what is discussed. It just says player only meeting, and then usually they go on like a 5-game winning streak, right? For some reason, somehow this got leaked. Whatever they talked about, it got leaked. That it was about Jazz Chisholm. It never gets leaked. In my opinion, that's a front office decision. So that's part of my reasoning to think that Jazz should know this, because either a teammate did that, which in some ways it makes the teammates look a little bad, so I wouldn't expect them to do it, or it's Kim Ange in the front office doing that, which in turn makes them look bad. Why are you releasing some of this important team intel about a player that is your star player, a player you want to build around? And in my opinion, and this is like me thinking the Marlins front office is trying to outsmart everyone, is they're trying to get the fans to alienate Jazz Chisholm like the teammates did. They're trying to get the fans to turn on him, so when they do eventually trade him, because most likely it's about money, they can't afford him, so they're going to have the fans turn on him and then trade him so that, now the fans could be like, good, get this locker room cancer out of there. It's a perfect plan if you're going to trade him. But now if you're not trading him, all you did was create problems. And now Jazz Chisholm may be looking at this and saying, wow, you really were to release information like that? Fuck that. I'm out of here. That's where we're at. And I think there's going to be a point in time where Jazz Chisholm asks out. Let's see what happens there. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new here, hit that sub button. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.